Virgil didn't always love water. When he was little, the depths and what could reside there had scared him severely. The idea of anything about it being near him made the small child nervous. But when his father died, his mother was forced to move them to a smaller house near the ocean to cut down on costs. The thought terrified Virgil at first. Soon, though, he found comfort in the waves. The shore often gave him somewhere to hide and somewhere to be alone and think. It started like that anyway, but over the years it really became his only place of comfort. If you couldn't find him anywhere else, he would be in the water. When Virgil was 15, he saved up to buy a waterproof camera to capture all the creatures he would come across in the water. He didn't ever wear scuba gear, wanting a comfortable experience and not something to get him riled up, as the prep for putting on all that gear would start to make him nervous. So far, small jellyfish were his favorite, and Virgil would come across them every once in a while, and those pictures hung proudly on the walls of his small bedroom. It was one of those days, bright and early, one Saturday afternoon, when Virgil woke to his clock reading 1 p.m. Yesterday had been long. He stayed up too late finishing an assignment, not having time to de-stress afterward on account of it getting too late and too dark. He quickly dressed and grabbed his camera, his prized possession, before heading outside towards the water. Sure, drowning now was the biggest fear he had when it came to the ocean, but the team took pride in his swimming abilities and tried to push it from his mind whenever he went out. Any conversations about the ocean with Logan really didn't help anyway, so Virgil just focused on the parts he loved while swimming, including the beautiful sea life. He walked out onto the dock like he often would. It went out far enough that it was already fairly deep at that point. Virgil tied the camera to his arm and held it firmly in his right hand before diving in. Being used to the salty water, he didn't care about wearing goggles either. Along with having a personal record for holding his breath for over 2 minutes, this was the one thing the teen could be confident in. While getting pictures of a few different starfish, something caught his eye. A big and beautiful jellyfish, one Virgil had never seen before. Not even in his research, something he had done plenty of over his fear of what could go wrong. Though he knew nothing of this specific creature, and it was pretty big, he couldn't resist this opportunity to capture it in an image. The teen swam closer, still keeping a safe distance, and took a few pictures of the lovely creature. He couldn't wait to hang these photos on his walls. Suddenly, a giant ray flew up beside him, scaring Virgil into flinching towards the jellyfish. He suppressed a yelp of pain as a jolt of its stingers surged up his leg. Virgil quickly swam to the surface whilst keeping the injured leg as still as possible. "Ugh," he exclaimed and pulled himself onto the dock. This was not the best ever. Virgil observed his new marks, bright red lines shadowing the places of their stingers. "Great," he huffed while catching his breath. It looked pretty bad. Just great. And to make it worse, he had to walk home with this throbbing irritation pain. The salt water didn't help either. With a grunt, he pushed himself up and made his way slowly back using the wooden rail to balance. Once back, Virgil immediately soaked the wound in vinegar and then warm water, waiting for the irritation to quiet down. He sighed a bit in relief that it didn't appear too serious and that it was clearly not one of the more dangerous jellies. Virgil definitely would have noticed immediately. But just to be sure, he planned to head to the doctor's office tomorrow. For now, he would rest his leg. His mother got home earlier than expected, which also scared the life out of him that she would find out. She had a tendency to over-worry as well, most likely where Virgil got that habit. Surely if she saw, well, he would probably be banned from the water for a while. Not like he could swim like this anyway. At least she didn't notice for now, and he was able to relax without interruption the rest of the day, and the boy just went to sleep early without anything else to do. He hadn't eaten all day, but no one really needed to know that. At some point, Virgil woke with a splitting headache. For a second, he was convinced he was having a migraine, but this felt nothing like any he had ever had before. He carefully got out of bed, a painful reminder of the day's events, and took some Tylenol. Right now, the teen just wanted to sleep. The medication helped a bit, and he was able to sleep again. now not giving the experience a second thought. The next morning, though, more accurately almost noon, he felt just weird. He stood up after a minute automatically to get a glass of water before jumping back onto his bed in suspense for a tang of pain from his injured leg that never came. Surprised, Virgil glanced down at his leg and gasped. The marks now were black and etched into his skin. There was absolutely no swelling or coloration marks other than the black lines stretching across his skin like lightning. It looked like a healed tattoo almost. The pattern was just there. "What the?" Virgil whispered to himself, running his fingers over them. It didn't hurt. Initially, Virgil had thought that some of his cells had died and turned black, but that now made no sense with his further inspection. What even was this? The emo teen quickly opened his laptop to search for this kind of jellyfish and what could have happened to the injury. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You couldn't find anything at all on the creature or the markings left on his leg. Then it happened. The first of a strange feeling ran through his body. It wasn't painful, not in the slightest. It was just, weird. But again, it was shrugging off as he stood again, testing weight on this leg cautiously but still being met with no pain. Confused, Virgil pulled on some sweatpants to cover the marks for now and strolled to the kitchen. His mother was already gone for work. She was hardly around, but Virgil knew she tried, and he didn't complain. The house was warm, and as he got himself some cereal and a cup of cold water, eating at the table, it happened once more. The weird feeling surged through his chest and left arm this time. Virgil's eyebrows knit together at it. Ever since that thing stung him, everything had felt abnormal. The cereal in his bowl no longer tasted appetizing. He stood up to dump its contents when he caught a glance into the mirror as the feeling returned. Parts of his body shifted and moved and seemed to even disappear for rapid movements. Virgil recoiled with a start, dropping the bowl in the process. Now this? What is happening to me? His head screamed in a panic. He stumbled for his phone and called Logan whilst completely freaking out. Yes, was all Logan was able to get out before Virgil spilled everything. "Hello, I need your help. I got stung by a jellyfish yesterday, and the pain is gone already, and the marks turned black, and I feel really weird and lightheaded today, and when I looked in the mirror, it looks like I was glitching or something, and I don't know what's going on, and..." Okay. Logan intervened before Virgil drove himself into a panic attack. "Virgil, calm yourself. I'll head over right now, all right? I will bring over Roman as well to keep you calm, okay?" "Oh, okay," Virgil managed and sat in silence after the other hung up. Roman had always had a crush on the shorter boy. Everyone knew, including Virgil himself. It was sort of a running joke for a while until Virgil finally caved and jokingly let Roman take him out for a date. The rest is history. The two teens had been dating for almost a year now, and Virgil appreciated Roman's seeming talent for calming him down, which he could really use right now as he was shaking as he sat on the couch.